Hey, Abnormal Family. Hope y'all are good today or tonight, whatever it is your time. I'm coming at you with a pretty creepy story. I did a proofread over it just to kind of see what it was about. And it's very chilling, not gonna lie. But let's go ahead and get into it. I'll never forget the carnival I went to when I was a teenager. I was trying to act cool in front of my friends and the girls we wanted to impress. We stumbled upon a creepy old carny who caught our attention. He was sitting in a tent, surrounded by strange trinkets and tasselmans, talking to a bizarre doll that looked like a hobo. I mean, this thing was ridiculous. It even had a cigar stuck in its mouth. I couldn't resist making fun of the guy. I mocked him, thinking it was the funniest thing ever, but the carny just gave me a strange, knowing look. He didn't say a word, just kept staring at me with an unnerving intensity. I laughed it off and walked away feeling like the king of the cool. But as I looked back, I saw the carny's eyes still fixed on me, and for a moment, I swear, the doll's eyes seemed to follow me. I shivered and quickly ran away, telling myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. As we drove away from the carnival, I couldn't help but feel a rush of excitement and mischief. I had pulled off the ultimate prank, and my friends were completely oblivious. I hid the doll under a blanket in the back seat, feeling like I had gotten away with something big. But as we drove further and further away from the carnival, I started to feel a creeping sense of unease. It was as if the doll was watching me, making my skin crawl. I tried to shake it off. The feeling of telling myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But then, strange things started to happen. The radio began to static and fuzz, and the air in the truck grew thick and heavy. My friend seemed to sense it too. Growing quiet and uneasy as we drove on, I knew that I had made a big mistake. I had stolen something that didn't belong to me, something that was perhaps better left alone. And now I was starting to realize that the doll was more than just a simple trinket. Oh, sorry, I lost my place. It was a harbinger of something dark and sinister. I went to bed. As soon as I got home, I woke up to the sound of our family dog Snow barking frantically in the background. At first, I thought she had just spotted a squirrel or something, but then I heard my cat Whiskers hissing and spitting in the living room. I got out of bed to see what was going on, and that's when I saw it. The doll was sitting on the couch, its dead eyes seeming to stare straight at me. Snow was barking at it like it was a threat, and Whiskers was arching her back, her fur standing on end. I tried to shoo them away, but they wouldn't leave the doll alone. It was like they sensed something was off about it. And then, in a moment, it still sent shivers down my spine. Whiskers crept closer to the doll and sniffed it. She let out a little meow, and then she licked its face. I was horrified. It was like she was trying to appease it or something. That's when I knew I had to get rid of the doll. I couldn't keep it in the house anymore. But as I reached for it, I felt a strange resistance, like it didn't want to be moved. I tried to shake off the feeling, telling myself I was just being paranoid. But deep down, I knew that something was very wrong. I was freaked out over the doll. I called my friend to come get it. I asked him to throw it off the bridge down the highway. The next morning, I was told by my mom and dad that my friend fell asleep driving and had a fatal accident. My heart sank. I heard that the doll was in my friend's, or I knew that the doll was in my friend's car when he crashed. I felt a wave of horror wash over me, knowing that the doll had been with him in his final moments. I couldn't shake the feeling that the doll was responsible for the accident. that it had somehow caused my friend to fall asleep at the wheel. It sounds crazy, I know, but I couldn't shake the feeling that the doll was cursed, that it was evil. I knew then that I had to get the doll out of the wreckage, to destroy it once and for all. But as I imagined the scene, I realized that the doll was probably submerged in water, trapped in the car at the bottom of the river. My mom told me that the car was removed, and the doll was in the car. I lied and said that he had won it. Mom said they was going to bury him with that doll. After the service, I looked up and I could not believe my eyes. I was stunned. The old carny had shown up at the funeral, and now he was walking away with the doll. It was like he had come to collect it, to take it back. I felt a shiver run down my spine as I watched him get into his car and drive away. I didn't say anything to anyone, but I knew that I had to tell someone what had happened. I couldn't keep it inside anymore. I pulled my mom aside and told her everything, about stealing the doll, about my friend's accident, and the carny showing up at the funeral. She listened in silence, her face pale and worried. When I finished, she put a hand on my shoulder and said, "We need to get to the bottom of this. The doll is not what it seems." Even though we couldn't prove it, the doubt and uncertainty have lingered in my mind to this day. I have often wondered if the doll indeed was responsible for my friend's tragic accident. Did it somehow manipulate him, causing him to lose control of the car? I've tried to push it aside to focus on the good memories of my friend, but the question lingers in the back of my mind still. As I look back, I realize that some mysteries are better left unsolved. The doll's dark history and the carny's sinister intentions are secrets that I'm glad that remain unspoken. But sometimes, in the dead of the night, when the world is quiet and my mind is racing, I can't help but wonder, what if? What if the doll was more than just a simple trinket? What if it was of the darkness, a tool of evil that took my friend's life? Years have passed since that fatal day, but the memory of the doll and the carny still haunts me. I've tried to move on, to convince myself it was just my imagination playing tricks on me. But the truth is, I'll never forget the feeling of the dread that settled in my stomach whenever I look at the doll. Recently, I received a mysterious package in the mail. Inside, I found a small, carved wooden box. Attached to the box was a note that read, "The show must go on." My heart sank as I realized who must have sent it. The carny. He's still out there, watching me, waiting for his next move. I opened the box, and what I found made my blood run cold. Inside, nestled along the velvet lining, was a small, hand-painted doll. Its eyes seemed to gleam in the light, and I knew in that moment that the nightmare was far from over. The doll was back, and with it the darkness that lurked within. I knew then I had to confront the carny once and for all, to put an end to the evil that had haunted me for so long. But as I looked deeper into the box, I saw something that made my heart skip a beat. Another small note scribbled in red ink. The show is just beginning. I still have that doll, and nothing has happened over these years, but I still watch the doll and wait. I don't know about you guys, but that's a pretty creepy story, and I don't know how to take that. I would like to know your guys' thoughts of what you think, because honestly, I think I would have gotten rid of the doll. I wouldn't have kept it. I would have burned it, or I don't know, done something else to it. But I can't wait to hear what you guys think about it in the comments. So let us know what you think, and thanks for listening to me read this. Sorry I stumbled a couple times. A little nervous. This is my first time kind of reading a story to you guys. But until next time, thank you. Good night.